What if the worst day of your life wasn't a setback, but a secret weapon? We all have those moments we wish we could erase the embarrassment, the loss, the pain. But what if those very experiences hold the key to unlocking your true potential? Prepare to redefine your understanding of failure. Today on SH Rise and Shine, we are going to discover why your greatest struggles might actually be your most powerful teachers. Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're having a real conversation. We are talking about those days that make you want to pull the covers over your head and never come out. We are going to flip the script on them. Let's get started. Let's be honest. When something goes wrong, really wrong, what is the first thing we feel? We feel like we failed. We instinctively label tough days as bad days. It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? It sits right in your chest. We live in a world that loves highlight reels. We scroll through social media and see everyone winning. So, when we hit a wall, it feels personal. It feels like we are the only ones falling behind. Think about the common worst days we face in modern life. Maybe it's losing a job you thought was secure. Maybe it's a relationship ending when you weren't ready. Or maybe it's a project you poured your heart into that just flopped. In that exact moment, your brain tells you, this is a disaster, this is the end. But here is the truth, that is an illusion. That immediate feeling, it's just a lens. It is like looking at a beautiful painting through a tiny dirty keyhole. You aren't seeing the whole picture yet, you are only seeing the messy brushstroke, not the masterpiece it's creating. That failure is actually just the first chapter of a much better story. Now, I want you to think about a time in the past when things were difficult. When we are comfortable, we coast. We go on autopilot. But when crisis hits, that is when we wake up. Adversity is a mentor. It's a strict mentor, sure, but it teaches us things comfort never could. Think about the lessons forced upon you during a crisis. Suddenly, you have to problem solve under pressure. You have to be resourceful. You realize you can survive on a lot less than you thought. You find a strength you didn't know you had because you had to find it. Hard times also act like a filter. They expose what truly matters. For example, if you lose a job, you might realize, wait a minute, I hated that career path anyway. I only kept it for the status. Or, if you face a health scare, suddenly all the petty arguments you had with your friends don't matter anymore. Your values become crystal clear. And there is one more gift adversity gives us, empathy. When you have had a worse day, you understand the pain of others. You become kinder. You become a better listener. You stop judging and start understanding. That isn't just a skill. That is a superpower. Let's talk about how we build strength. If you go to the gym and lift a heavy weight, what happens? You are actually tearing your muscle fibers. It hurts. You get sore. But when those fibers heal, they grow back thicker and stronger than before. Your mind works the exact same way. This is the psychological process of resilience. You cannot buy resilience. You cannot read a book to get it. You have to earn it through the struggle. Look at almost any successful person. Their bios are never just a straight line up. They are full of dips and valleys. Take the story of Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. He failed at almost every job he tried. Lawyer, salesman, steamboat operator. He didn't franchise his chicken recipe until he was 62. His worst days lasted for years. But those days built the grit he needed to build an empire when everyone else was retiring. This is what we call the bounce back. But I like to call it the bounce forward. You don't just recover to who you were before. You return as an upgraded version of yourself. You are less afraid of the future because you know you've handled the past. Here is my favorite part of this concept. Sometimes your worst day is the only thing powerful enough to knock you off the wrong path and onto the right one. We often get stuck in a rut, but we are too scared to change. Then A bad day happens. Maybe you get laid off. Maybe your door slams shut in your face. At the time, it feels like a disaster, but looking back years later, you realize if that hadn't happened, I never would have started my business. I never would have met my spouse. I never would have moved to this city that I love. This is the path to unexpected wisdom. It forces self-discovery. When you are stripped of your titles, your money, or your plans, you are left with you, and that is where the magic happens. That is where innovation is born. The most beautiful inventions and the most profound art in human history usually came from people who were trying to solve a problem or heal a pain. Your darkness can be the birthplace of your greatest light. So, how do we apply this? How do we stop just surviving bad days and start using them? Next time you hit a wall, I want you to try this. Pause. Take a deep breath. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this trying to teach me? Reframe the narrative. Treat the challenge like a puzzle, not a punishment. Look for the hidden wisdom. It might be patience. It might be courage. It might be the push you needed to finally make a change. I want you to take a moment today to reflect on a worst day from your past. Look at where you are now. Can you see the strength it gave you? Can you see the lesson? Your greatest successes are often disguised as your hardest moments, waiting to be embraced. Trust the process, trust your resilience, and remember, even the darkest night ends with the sun rising. If this video helped you shift your perspective, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might be having a tough week. And don't forget to subscribe to SH Rise and Shine for more weekly inspiration. I'm Syed Afzal Hussain. Keep rising and keep shining. I'll see you in the next video.